WVTC Radio Detroit. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, X, and our website, www.wvtcdetroit.com, or download our WVTC app from the Play Store for Android users and the App Store for iPhone users.
Do not pass me by. Do not pass me by.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to My Sister, Your Sister, where connection, conversation, and Christ come together. We're coming to you live every third Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on the award-winning station WVTC Detroit. Now let's dive deep into sisterhood, spirituality, and subjects that matter.
Pass me not, oh gentle Savior. Hear my humble cry. While others thou art calling.
What's up, Detroit? What's going on?
What up, though?
What up, though? Welcome to My Sister, Your Sister, where we are winning victory through Christ on WVTC Detroit.
Hello.
What's going on, good people? It is a beautiful Tuesday, and yes, it was a beautiful Tuesday, just a beautiful day, and it rained a little bit, but you know, it was still good.
It was good for the cause.
It was good for the cause. We need
Grass
a little
green,
yes. Come
flowers
on. Now you gotta have the rain and the sunshine. Gotta have it all. And we had it all today. So I am just grateful to be here tonight.
You see when we were frozen?
Right. I'm grateful to be here tonight with my girl. Listen, this is the beautiful, the wonderful, the one and only Michelle Johnson. I am yours truly, Nikki Jones.
The incomparable.
Yes.
The incomparable.
Thank you very much. We are missing a couple of people who are beautiful and dear to us.
Yes.
And they are taking the night off, and we are cool with that. We're gonna pray for them to come on back when they need to, when they get ready to, when the Lord has blessed them to. So in the between, we have a really good topic tonight.
Yes.
So listen, I need you, if you're watching right now, I need you to like and share and subscribe. Okay. I need you to share this video, share this broadcast, whatever you want to call it. Share it wherever you're watching it from, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever. Send this to somebody that's black like us. or anyone else. Why? Because even if you're not black, you should listen to this conversation. Why? Because it might not affect you directly, but indirectly it might affect you. And so,
Everybody got somebody black in their family.
That part, whether they believe it or not, whether they claim it or not. But even aside from that, you know somebody, I'm sure you know somebody who this has affected or who has been affected by this. And trust me, I had no clue that this was going to be, I knew this was going to be the topic based on the article that we're going to discuss tonight, but I did not know the vantage point that we were going to come from tonight. And so I'm excited about it. I want you to share it. Share. Okay. And this is how we're going to give you some time to share. Okay. We're going to play some music. We're going to play a video of my big brother. I love him so much. He's been a big brother to me for over 20 something years, 20 years. And recently we recorded with the reunion choir. I'm speaking none other than Darius Twyman and the choir Destiny. And we recorded a live reunion concert last year. And so this is a video from that night. Okay. So this hasn't been released yet. This is gonna be good. This not even released yet. And you're gonna enjoy this. Okay. And you're gonna see some familiar faces. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. Okay, let's hit it. Let's go.
Come on, clap your hands with me right here. I need everybody in the building to say that with me. Come on. Said it keeps on keeping me. Keeps on keeping me. How we made it on. but walked in victory. I'm grateful for your covering from dangers unseen. Thank you, Lord, for keeping me. Thank you, Lord, for keeping, 'cause it keeps on keeping me. Keeps on keeping me. Everybody clap your hand right there. Hey, I said it keeps on keeping me. Keeps on keeping me. We made it over. We made it over. Everybody glad you made it. Hey, sometimes, yeah, but we walked in. Hey, I'm grateful for your covering, God, from dangers. Hey. Oh, yeah. Hey, come on, 'cause it keeps on keeping me. Hey, do I have a witness? Do I have a witness? Say, it keeps on keeping me. Keeps on keeping me. Say it one more time. Say how we made it. How we were set free. Sometimes we were in darkness. Grateful for your covering, yeah. From dangers. Oh, yeah. 'Cause it keeps on giving me. Keeps on giving me. This is my testimony. Said he kept me when I could not keep myself. Kept me. Yeah. It was Jesus and nobody else. He kept me when I almost had a great fall. Kept me through the midst. Yeah. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Listen, he didn't let me down, no, hey, and he never will. He didn't let me down, and he never will. You say, anybody know it? And he never will. He didn't let me down, hey, and he never will. Come on, and he never will. And he never will. And he never will. No, he never will, yeah. And he never will. Yeah, he didn't let me down. And he never will. He didn't let me down. Yeah, and he never will, yeah. Hey, and he never will. Yeah, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I ain't got to fear no evil. Hey, he said he never will. No, he never will, never will. Never will. We laugh in the devil's face right here. Hey.
That was so good. That was a good way to start the show.
Yes, he
That's what
keeps
keeps
on
on
keeping
keeping
me.
me.
Listen, yes,
Yes,
he
yes.
does. I'm so glad he does, Connie, because
Amen.
sometimes I acted like I didn't want to be kept.
But he kept
But
me
he
anyway.
kept on.
He kept on anyway. You want to do it?
Bring me back. Listen.
And actually, the song is actually a really good intro to the conversation we're gonna have tonight.
Come on
Actually,
now, take it
keep
over.
on keeping me. Well, today we're gonna be talking about an article that I had shared with my sisters. I don't know, maybe about a month or so ago,
Mhm.
on the economics of Black love,
Mm.
and it was published in I believe it's like a digital magazine, if you will,
Yes.
or platform that. And there's a section where they focus on emerging writers. So each month they produce a new piece from a different emerging writer. And this writer, Shaniqua Merchant, published a very interesting article on
Very.
the economics of Black love. Now,
Very.
when you saw the title, what did you think at first blush? What you think it was going to be about?
What I thought it was going to be about was basically just kind of like talking about, you know, how much we sacrifice for each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, you
Mhm.
know, when I think of economy, I think money.
Right. You
You
think of
know,
a transaction.
I think of
course.
transactions, right? But I just think of it between the two people who are in the relationship, you know, in terms of Black love, you know, the male and female. So I'm
Mhm.
thinking it's going to be about, you know, how much we sacrifice for each other, you know, how much we, you know, cost, you know what I'm saying? How much
Yeah.
it costs to be in a relationship,
Uh-huh.
you know. But I wasn't
true.
thinking this perspective. This perspective on this article, the way she gave it is just
Yeah.
totally it wasn't like totally left field because I could relate to it.
Right.
But I
Right.
wasn't expecting it at all.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same as you when I first came upon it. And actually, another friend of mine sent it to me. And she was like in a group chat and she said, we need to discuss this. And so when I read it, I was like, yeah, we need to discuss this on the broadcast. Because I think it demystified
That's a good word.
certain assumptions I even had about Black love. And in the article, and it did touch on a couple of those things. And if you haven't read the article, I asked the station to post it on their link the article to the website so you all can check it out and read it. And feel free, as Nikki said earlier, you can still comment on it.
Yes.
You can, you know, share with your friends. I think is a profound perspective on the economics of Black love. So let's just get into it.
Yes.
So Shaniqua Merchant, there was one thing in particular that struck me
Mhm.
when she started the essay,
Mhm.
and that was oftentimes people love to say love is simple.
Yeah.
If two people want it, they'll make it work.
Mhm.
And she said, I hear that and immediately know I'm talking to someone who has never dated while Black. Because nothing about Black love has ever been simple. Honestly, sometimes dating while Black feels like trying to fall in love while the universe is pressing a weight on your chest and whispering, good luck, girl.
Girl.
Did that strike? Like,
Yes, exactly. It's like, good luck. Okay, we see if you make it. All right, give it that good old college try.
Yeah, God bless you.
Don't take no wooden nickels. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, it's like pushing you out the nest, you know,
Yeah.
and it's like watching you to see if you fly or if you fall. And that's how it is. Like,
it is.
that's how sometimes you feel,
Mhm.
even when you're dating somebody. It's like,
Mhm.
okay, I gotta, because that's what we say when we're tired of dating. It's like, I'm tired of what? Putting myself out there.
Yeah, that
I'm
is.
tired of that.
That
I'm
is.
tired of putting
that
myself
is
out there.
correct.
And that's what people say. Like, you know, it's mud in the water. Ain't nothing, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing out there. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's like, so it just the article made me think about the outside pressures that I never really considered,
Mhm.
you know, when dating. Not that I didn't consider that men and women go through separate things. Like,
Yes.
I thought about that. I've thought about that before. But just the way that she framed it, it just made me go a lot deeper into my thought process and processing how we actually live out the pressures that we're feeling.
And you hitting on the points, right? Like, and these pressures that Nikki is referring to is the pressure of the systems that we live in.
Yeah.
Which was illuminating to me
Yes.
when I got into the middle of the essay. So not only did this essay or her writing was backed by research
Yes.
and by data.
Yes.
So I knew, okay, this is someone who has spent some time really
Researching.
contemplating.
Yes.
Right? Like, why is it that I feel what I feel in a
Yes.
relationship?
Yes.
And that the only folks that could kind of sort of understand what this is another Black man or woman.
Mhm.
And I appreciate in the essay too that she brought in both those perspectives.
Yes.
And we'll bring that up in the conversation. But let me just start by saying what was illuminating to me was when she talked about the stress that a man and a woman have in a relationship.
Yes.
You think it might be a character confrontation, you
Mhm.
know, or you all a misalignment of values.
Right.
But in actuality, when you think about Black people in this country, in the United States,
Mhm.
the only thing that was truly dominant was the systems that were driving the oppression of our people.
Of course.
So when she brought up, because people, you know, you got women who are out in the field, having the children, trying to run the home, they're like overly taxed
yes.
and underappreciated. And then you have the man who is overly worked,
Yes.
you know, trying to figure out how to make two ends come together. And then when they get in the household, it's like a clash.
Yeah.
It's like a complete like torpedoes pointing at the wrong thing.
Because both of us are in survival mode.
Then you just hit it on the head. You hit it on the head. I mean, literally, that's
is.
what the basis of the essay is like, we're under attack.
We're
all
trying
the
to
time.
survive.
We're
We're trying to survive.
We're
And then we
trying
end
to
up trying to
survive.
survive each other because we're trying to survive outside of this house. You know what I'm saying? Outside
Mhm.
of this relationship,
Mhm.
we're trying to survive, and things are coming at us on every front or on every hand.
So when do you
or
have time
we're-
to nurture it? When do you have time
you
to really sit? So let me read an excerpt from it. So she said, and what I ultimately discovered in this, after all the stuff that sort of me and Nikki brought up here, when we're talking about relationships bending under pressure and that neither person created these circumstances,
Right.
We're of it, but not creating of it. It wasn't love that was fragile. It was everything surrounding it. And what I ultimately discovered is this. In America, love is treated like a personal choice. But for Black communities, it is shaped by structural realities,
Mhm.
wealth gaps, time scarcity, and uneven access to healing place, and economic weight on Black relationships that other groups are not asked to carry. Black love isn't fragile, it's under-resourced.
It's
Under-resourced.
under-resourced.
That was like,
We don't have the resources to love each other.
because we're coming up against look,
Everything. Everything is coming up against
working
us.
at the same scale, rate, and pay as our other.
We
ethnic
don't
groups.
get it.
We don't get it.
No,
Never got it.
never got
right. Constantly, if somebody's Tamra, hey Tamra. Exactly, the pressure of Black life are the same pressures Black women and women experience daily when navigating life.
Mhm.
That is true.
Yes.
And when you're dealing with these pressures, how it that you were born into,
right.
you were born
You didn't have a
into it.
choice.
And your parents were teaching you how to survive that system.
Rob Peter,
Not about
pay Paul.
not about how to love your woman and how to love your man. I mean, sometimes the narrative is find you a partner so you ain't got to struggle together. So you
Right.
got to struggle
by yourself.
by yourself,
Right.
right?
So
Excuse me.
like for instance, the one of the statistics that she gives in here,
Mhm.
it says a 2024 report from the New York City Comptroller
Mhm.
shows that white households have a median net worth of
Mhm.
$276,900,
Yep.
while Black
How
households
much?
only hold 18,000. Okay, you got 276,000 for a white median
white
median household,
Mhm.
and a Black household is $18,870. Only 24% of Black New Yorkers own homes,
Mhm.
compared to 63% of white households.
Say that.
These numbers aren't abstract. They walk a straight line into our relationships.
Mhm.
And they do. One partner has savings, the other has debt.
Mhm.
One grew up in stability, the other learned how to stretch
it.
everything: money, patience, and hope. Even when love is strong, inequality sits quietly in the room, influencing decisions, emotions, and expectations.
Okay, show over. Y'all need to just. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
It said it so plain,
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
And it's like the vapor in the room you don't see.
Yeah.
Because we're thinking it's all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And it's really the very things we're tackling each and every day when
Yeah.
we walk out the home. And the fact that we don't even call that out. I think we sense it.
I think
we feel it.
I think the successful couples know and work through it and get around it by learning how to support each other,
Mhm.
and learning how to forgive,
Mhm.
because we're all going to make a mistake here and there. And I think the successful couples either learn how to tolerate each other, which a
Mhm.
lot of them are doing,
Yeah.
They're just tolerating it because they don't want to be alone in the struggle,
Mhm.
or they really learn how to support each other and have each other's back so that their home is a place of peace for both of them
Mhm.
and their children. And then they've passed that peace down to their children or to their
Prayerfully
offspring or
so.
whoever, hopefully.
Pray, because it says economic scarcity does more than limit income. It limits rest time, emotional availability,
Yes.
and capacity to regulate one's stress.
Come on.
I mean, so at the end of the day, it had me thinking, is it worth being in a relationship when
Woo.
you know that not often, and I'll speak for myself, not often when I'm entering into, let's just say, a relationship with someone, that one person might be making more money than the other. One person might have more assets than the other. One person may not have children.
Mhm.
And so when you meet people who are on opposite ends of the spectrum, it's very hard
Mhm.
to not let those things drive your decisions in those relationships.
But they do though, because you hear people when they talk about what are you looking for in a mate? Well, if they can't have this, they gotta have that. They gotta do this. I don't want a person with
so they're
young
speaking
children.
it without
You know
framing
what I'm
it this way.
Yes, you know what I'm saying. So they're saying, you can't have more than 5 baby mamas. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be, or can't have. You know what I'm saying? They got to make this amount of money. They got to be financially stable. You know what I'm saying? All these things that we already want when we go into a relationship, and it's because we don't want to struggle.
We don't want to struggle.
We don't want to struggle.
But that is,
so we're already making
those kinds of decisions, based
informed
on
by the stress
of these systems,
yes,
that are oppressing us and
Yes.
making us into these situations. So when they talk about non-Black communities, that don't carry the same structural barriers, they say that their relationships may struggle, but not because of racial wealth gaps, discriminatory housing policies, or chronic race-based stress impacting their physical and emotional health. Their conflicts may be interpersonal. Ours are interpersonal and structural.
yes,
Like, I can't imagine, not only are we not aligned or equally yoked, we also are battling these these structural things as
Yes.
well. So that doesn't make up for a successful circumstance, right?
No.
Like, so,
No. And throw in
okay.
political.
Ugh.
Throw that in. Just throw it in just in case, because we do have Black folks on both sides of that coin in terms of red state, blue state, whatever, whether you're Democrat or Republican. We got people on both sides.
Yeah.
And you got married couples who disagree in that area.
Well, they're arguing about the structural differences because they're experiencing them
Exactly.
very differently.
Exactly.
Very differently. So would you agree with the author's central argument about Black love is not fragile, but under-resourced?
Yes, I do believe it's under-resourced. I do think that I agree with her point. And I also would add to not just under-resourced, but underdeveloped, under-supported, there's a lot of unders. Yeah. Underdeveloped, under-supported, underserviced.
And I think they're not always, I don't know what a perfect fill in the blank word is, but I do feel like we don't talk enough about it from this perspective. I think we always talk about it from the perspective of it's fragile. You got to be a good communicator.
Yeah.
You got to be open and not be judgmental.
You got to be vulnerable.
Non-judgmental about a person's past. But when you think about this article and what it presents in terms of data and facts, it's to its point. It's not just the interpersonal stuff.
No.
And it's the structural stuff. The question I have for the author, if the author was here in front of me, is like, how can you tackle them? Because interpersonal and structural are so deep. And I think with these, the impacts of the structural creates trauma. You brought that up earlier. Folks are going through certain things in life that just create these imprints on the mind. So when they get with somebody, certain things could just trigger, these things. And we don't have the tools, the interpersonal tools, to be able to say, okay, I recognize what this is.
Right.
This is us not being able to pay our rent.
Because why? Because you know, certain generations, especially the generation before us,
Mm.
they swept everything up under the rug.
Yes.
It was like, no, what happens in this house stays in this house. So we're
Yes.
not going to talk about it outside of here. So the whatever the trauma was, whatever the
Mhm.
issues were, they all stayed in the house, and everybody didn't talk about it. You know what I'm saying? It was swept up under the rug. So there was no counseling, there was no therapy, there was no
Actually, counseling was looked at as weak.
expression. Yes. There was no even expression. You can't even express how you're feeling. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? Because
yes.
they did not want to hear it. Why?
Yes.
Because they were thinking the same thing,
Yes,
but
yes.
there was no one to hear their expressions. You know what I'm saying? There was no one to care, because at this point, we don't have time to express our feelings. We got to survive.
Mhm.
We have to pay the bills. We have to be fed. We have
Yes.
to make it to work the next day.
Yeah.
We have to get up and go to work the next day. We got to find out if we got to catch this
That's
bus.
why I was pushed under the rug,
Yeah.
right? Because
like-
you had all these, that us is not important. This bill,
Yeah.
this house.
We got to make sure we had a roof over our head. Okay. We got to make sure
100%.
we got, you know, at least some beans and cornbread, if nothing else. You understand
Beans
what
and
I'm saying?
cornbread.
And that's so true. Like, I remember dating someone back in the 90s, and this person told me he shared with me one of his fears of not having enough. And that
Mm.
came from sleeping sometimes with a hairdryer, because they had electricity but they didn't have heat.
Ah.
And so he would sleep sometimes with a hairdryer under the bed with him, under the covers with him, just to stay warm.
Mhm,
And he would cut it on and cut it off. I mean, so imagine this person growing up,
mhm.
and by the time they're an adult, they're hoarding everything. Like,
Mhm.
I got to make sure I have enough, so I'm not spending my money.
Right.
And I remember this person used to have checks that they never cashed, because it was like, I got 3 checks right here, and I'm, you know, kind of like scared to cash them, or
that's
you know, if I
real.
put them in the bank, you know what I'm saying? So it was like,
Mhm.
I know I got this
I don't
money.
have that problem. So check my head out.
Well, we don't have that problem today because we got direct deposit. Ain't nobody's writing checks like that. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right,
Not payroll checks.
Right.
So it's like, so him growing up, by the time he was an adult, he was of the mindset that I have to save, never spend. So
Mhm.
he never went anywhere. You know what I'm saying? He went to work and he came
Went
home.
home.
You know what I'm saying? He didn't spend money on anything that he didn't have to spend money on. He didn't trust anybody. You know what I'm saying? So it was very hard for him to trust people. So that was like one of the first thoughts I had reading this article. I thought about this person like, wow,
It's real.
that's what it was.
It's
But
not made up.
and
It's
it was
not-
economics.
And it was economics.
So when it came to us dating, you know, he thought he was doing something when he brought me a 2-piece and a biscuit. And I'm like, bro, I'm trying to go to dinner, you know what I'm saying?
right. The
But
white
for
tablecloth,
right.
perhaps.
But for him, it was like, well, I mean, I brought you dinner, you know,
Mhm.
I brought
Mhm.
something for you to eat. And he didn't even bring anything for himself. It's like, I
Yeah.
brought something for you because you said you was hungry. But I'm like, dang, you couldn't take me to dinner? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's real.
But that's what his having to like a stingy person. Yes. And so it's like that, but that's their mindset, and that's where it comes from. The scarcity that they grew up
the
with.
scarcity mindset. And it also, to me, when I was reading, you know, the article, it made me feel like this was a public health issue.
Could be.
Right. So actually Cheryl Woods Griscombs, I hope I'm pronouncing her, the Superwoman Schema, shows how society trains us to be strong, nurturing, self-sacrificing,
Yep.
endlessly available,
Yes.
even when we are deeply exhausted.
I saw
Black
that.
women often enter relationships already
Yep.
serving as an emotional infrastructure for everyone around them.
Yes.
It's like being treated as an emotional Wi-Fi,
Yes.
automatically connected, always reliable, even when the signal is fading.
Girl.
I said, if that ain't a public health cry, I don't know what is. And yet we coin it. Oh, she is a super strong Black woman. Oh, she's just phenomenal.
Yes.
She's just, oh
Mhm.
my gosh, like never get tired. Like just.
But I mean, but that's why
Emotional Wi-Fi. I'm gonna use that in a sentence tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but that's why songs like "I'm Not Your Superwoman" when they came out,
Yes.
that's why those songs
Yes,
resonated.
that's where it comes
You know what I'm saying?
from.
That's where those songs resonated. Songs like, you know, bills, can't pay my telephone bill, can't pay my automobile. You know what I'm saying? That's why those type of songs, when you hear Black people singing those, what I call struggle songs, because
a cry for help song.
It's a cry for help.
It's
It
a cry
really
for help.
is.
It's like, I'm tired.
And when people hear that kind, it's like they can relate because that's where they are.
That's where they are. And then when the data says 75% of households are ran by single females, to your point, that's where these songs
that's where they
surface from.
That's where
And
they
that's
come
from an old cultural
Yep.
sort of practice, right? Of singing what your lived experience are.
Yes.
Now, I ain't gonna leave you Black men out, because Black men, on the other hand, are taught to suppress the
Come on.
vulnerability, right? So Bell Hooks, if you haven't read any of Bell Hooks' works, you need to.
Okay.
Awesome. Notes that Black people have had to love in a world that has never loved them back,
Yep.
and that Black men are pressured to hide their pain behind silence.
Mhm.
Put two people in a relationship, one conditioned to overfunction emotionally,
Mhm.
women,
Women.
and the other conditioned to underexpress, men, and an
Mhm.
imbalance appears immediately, not because either partner is flawed, but because societal expectations handle them two completely different emotional scripts.
Yep.
And then you wonder why we can't
Yep.
come together. I feel like
And then they feed into it.
They
Black
feed-
people are, women are from
Mars, women from Mars, men are from Venus. All of
whatever.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like a terrible description. We're not
Yes.
from the same planet, but I also felt like that was planted to
Yes.
continue
That's
to
what I'm
feed in that
saying, to
narrative,
feed
right?
into the narrative. Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Which,
Absolutely.
in fact, we needed someone to tell us it's not that y'all are from different planets.
No.
It is because you, like the author said, interpersonal and
It's
structural.
nurturing. It's nurturing.
Y'all been fed this line,
Yep.
this script, and y'all showing up in character.
Yeah.
And we have to break that cycle.
And our
have to
children
break-
first. We got to
Yes,
start with
yes,
the kids, you
yes.
know.
Black
And
love is under attack. The Black
yes,
families are torn apart and impacts the Black community economically. You do.
absolutely.
It do.
Absolutely.
It
Yeah.
do. It
This
do.
was man, this okay, so I like this part where she says the wealth gap
Mhm,
forces Black men into survival mode masculinity,
mhm.
working extra hours, taking on side hustles, doing whatever it takes to feel like they're holding it down. Vulnerability becomes a luxury that men that don't a luxury they don't have time for.
And mass incarceration deepens his burden even more.
Yeah.
So when they come home carrying trauma the world refuses to treat, intimacy becomes even harder to access.
Yes. And then it's like they don't even understand the concept
Mm-mm.
of intimacy or vulnerability. And then we're on the whole end of that other end of that spectrum. It's like
Mhm.
we need a break. We
Mhm.
need to
Mhm.
release. We
Yeah.
need to
We're
talk.
the emotional Wi-Fi where
Yes.
we're taking on
Everybody else.
everybody's
Yes.
but that is not what they want. You know, the system wants us to stay at these odds because they
Yes.
benefit,
Yes.
right? And that we won't be sitting up here making time to love on one each other, because love is very powerful.
It is.
It is the very thing that is always under attack. And that's why, after reading the article, and then we're going to go into a couple of more points, but that's what made me think about the scriptures of the Bible about love and why love was so prominent in and throughout
Yes.
the Bible constantly.
Yes.
That is the very force that sustains you. So when you and your partner are establishing some type of foundation, that foundation should not be of this world. It should not be about the economic
Amen.
stress. It should not
Amen.
be about the wealth gap. It should not be about housing insecurity. It's about what do we want to build our house on?
Yes.
And that's these biblical scriptures that undergirds us, because we know
Yes.
that kind of love sustains and wins
Yes.
every time. And
Yes.
that's why the structure and the systems that we live in are activated,
Yes.
because it thrives on not love, but the very thing that's opposite
Division.
of it. Division and hate.
Yes. Division.
And so you wind up hating the Black man. And then this is when you get the dialogue like, I only date white women.
Oof.
I only date white men, or I only date a Black man, or white other than Black.
Right.
You know, it's like I'm doing all these other things because these traumas and these things that the system has put into you
Mm-hmm.
has converted you
Yeah.
with these narratives.
And it brings about a self-hate. It brings
That's
about
it
a
right
self-hate because
And we ain't gonna talk about colorism in that. But go ahead.
girl,
go
but
ahead,
yeah, it brings
go
about
ahead.
a self-hate because you feel like you will never measure up. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And instead of finding ways to build yourself up, you end up imploding, and then it spills over into anybody else who's connected to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because your
Ripple effect.
self-worth is low. And so because your self-worth is low, you don't end up seeing any worth or any value in anybody else connected to you. And then you end up becoming some person that uses other people just to get ahead because your self-worth is so low. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's just a really bad cycle.
It's a hateful cycle.
It's a bad cycle.
And when you continue to read the article, it makes a point and says, and because so many Black men are navigating these structural wounds, Black women often find themselves with a limited pool of partners who are emotionally available, financially stable, and not carrying untreated trauma. This isn't about preferences. It's about the reality that systems shrink our options long before love even enters the room.
Yeah. So Larry says, what should we be doing to get over this struggle, or what are some of the strategies we should be using?
Well,
Good question.
I would say first, I will revert back to what is your foundation built on?
Yes.
First of all, you have to recognize this is the system you in.
Yeah.
And not because we feel it in our bodies, and I think we know it, but oftentimes we aren't able to articulate it. We just know it's a thing. But now that you have some words and some language from this essay to actually clearly define it for you, it's like analogy. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Many of my arguments.
First thing you got to do is talk about it.
Acknowledge
Put
and
it
talk.
on the table.
Acknowledge
Put
and
it
talk.
on the table with whoever your partner is. Say, you know what? Let's talk about the economics of our relationship and the outside factors that are affecting it. So, you know, sit down with your partner and say, what outside of this house is affecting you and how you see me, or how you interact with me, or how you're in a relationship with me. What are those factors? Well, you know, I have to work, you know, such and such hours a day, or whatever the case may be. So I'd be too tired when I get home to do this and this and this. And I want to give you the attention that you need, but I'm so tired, and I'm so tired of code switching all day.
I mean, that's real.
Because that is real. We code switch. So
That is
if y'all
real.
don't know what I'm talking about, if you Black, you know what I'm talking about. If you code switch
you know,
all
you
day,
know.
right? If you code switch all day, you come home, it's like, no, I don't want to have a conversation.
No,
You know, I
that's
want to
true.
sit still and decompress. You know what I'm saying? So it's like having those types of conversations to where it's open and safe for both of you to express yourselves without backlash.
And I think too, decentralizing the very system that is driving the wedge.
Yes.
Like, we both got to go out there and do a thing.
Right.
But when we come into the house, can we agree when we come in the house, we leave that there
Yes.
and our home really be our sanctuary?
Yes.
This is where we need to power up on the love.
Right.
We need to power up on the love. We need to fill each other up.
Right.
We need to encourage each other. We need to be in joy and in celebration of each other.
Yes.
So that we are so rested in our love that we could go out
Yes.
and do it all over again. It's like a battery.
Yes.
If you don't have that,
If
then
you
you
don't
coming
fill
out
up.
crunchy, you going in crunchy, you going out crunchy.
Yes. Girl, ain't no such thing as the Energizer.
And you know what I tell some people sometimes when they come to work crunchy, I be like, your husband and your wife didn't do their job when you went home.
Ooh.
Because they helping me. They helping me. I'm gonna need you to go back home.
I need you to go back home.
And I need you to
And
tell
tell them
your
to handle it.
tell them to handle you accordingly. Love up on you.
I cannot. But
Because
that
it's
is
real.
so true. That is so true. Because I remember working with, you know, some people, and I remember having a boss that I ended up finding out she did not have a lot of control at home. So when she came to work, it was like she had to control every little thing, because when she go home, it's like she don't have that control at home. And it's like she has to be docile at home, and she has to, you know what I'm saying? And so when she came to work, it was like she had to control everything. She micromanaged everything. And it's like, wow. But that's what it is.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
That's what it is. When you
So
don't
you gotta have a
home
safe space.
You got a safe space that is a loving space.
You got to create it
You got
for
to create
each
it,
other.
and you have to work at it. You have to be intentional. about it.
May have to change hours of the day if possible.
Mhm.
Yes. I mean, you got to make some changes if you can do that, but some people can't.
But this is where the conversation comes in. What are you prioritizing?
Right.
This system or love?
Right.
What do we you got to decenter it. That's what I took from the article. You got to decenter it. That's
Yeah.
why I
you
really
can't
said,
make it.
can't make
You
it.
got to
plainer.
understand that is the that's the issue.
Yes, that's the issue. That's right.
The issue is not us.
It's not us.
The issue is not how much I love you, how much you love me. The
Yes.
issue is the outside pressures that we're dealing with. So make that the issue and not us the issue, so that
Right.
when we're coming together, we can be in love and we can be in fellowship and we can be
Yes.
in communion with each other without the outside noise.
Without the outside,
And
noise.
we can be
And-
safe. I
and so
have
know,
to keep saying
you
that.
You gotta be safe, and I think that's where the interpersonal come in. Where are you
Yes.
aligned in your values? What are you
Yes.
aligning on interpersonally?
So if you don't have alignment, then you can't even.
I mean, this is what you're gonna fuss about.
This is what you're gonna fuss
You
about.
just gonna give into the system
On the regular,
on the regular,
every day.
and then you wonder why you can't love, and then you wonder why we have these kind of lingering diseases and things like that, because it talks about it in the
Yeah.
article.
Yeah.
It talks about how it impacts the maternal health in women,
Yes.
and that Black women, wit at large, suffers larger
Yes.
in the data
Yes.
than any other culture.
Yes.
And so you can imagine when you're dealing with systematic racism that shapes how Black women are treated, heard, and cared for in medical settings. This means Black women are building families, relationships, and futures embodies the system routinely fails to protect. And then you wonder why.
And I mean, and that's been true for generations. I mean, i.e. Jane Pittman. Hello. Jane Pittman. I
Hello?
mean, so for years, for decades, for generations, the Black woman has been
What this article describes.
neglected.
Yeah.
That has been told that we can handle more pain. We've been told that that our pain level
And that
tolerance,
suffering makes you better.
yeah, that we can take it. We don't need medication. That we can handle it, and we don't know our own bodies. You know what I'm saying? It's just ridiculous. And that's how the infant mortality and the maternal
Yes.
mortality rates are so high among Black women is
Mhm.
because, and we had a show about that. a
Yeah,
long
we
time ago.
did.
But that's how. It's because they don't listen to us.
They don't listen, and they don't take
That's
our
why we
help,
need more Black doctors.
which we only have 6% in the country.
Dang.
So that's a very low number. But I also want to say that this topic is not a new topic, and it's not a topic that has not been placed in front of us in an entertainment setting. So what I loved about this article is what they brought up. Like, when you look at patterns are just not supported by research, they show up in stories we tell about ourselves. In Love and Basketball, Monica
Yes.
ends up doing emotional overtime while Quincy was crumbling under the weight of family betrayal
Yep.
and masculinity expectations. In Poetic Justice,
Yep.
Justice becomes Lucky's grounding force while she's barely holding her own
Yep.
grief together. In Jason Lyric gives Jason the emotional safety he was never taught to believe he deserved. So these women are not magically mature.
Right.
They are doing emotional labor assigned to Black women by centuries of survival mode, which you talked about.
Yes.
These films are not exaggerations. They are cinematic ethnographies of Black love under pressure.
Whew.
So y'all say, "Oh, I love, what's the movie? Waiting to Exhale."
Girl.
Some of those themes surfaced,
Yes.
and we
Girl,
see
color
it as
purple.
color.
Come on now.
The show was over 15 minutes extra. Like, so real, right? And
So
vivid.
real.
And yet, because it's shrouded in entertainment, I think oftentimes the lessons or the theories sometimes
Yeah.
get lost.
Right?
And
Overshadowed.
all of the cinematic beauty
overshadowed.
is overshadowed, right? And so, but we have to really be cognizant of those lessons and the things that we're even putting our eyes and ears to, because oftentimes they're just trying to reinforce the system that we're
Yes.
in.
Yes.
And we have to acknowledge that there is a system that was built and it was not blind. And it also said in the article that the kind of history leaves a psychological imprint. Why would anyone blindly trust systems that have already proven they can snatch everything you build? That's not a broken mindset. That's a trauma-informed one. Black mentality didn't appear out of thin air. It was shaped by generations of extraction, violence, and loss. I was like, when's she going on the road? And Larry asked, do you think women, some, are too competitive, which gives off a false narrative of what they can or can't handle?
Just be a woman. Thoughts? Well, I think that narrative.
I think the system.
I think that narrative has been perpetuated.
Yeah.
That we shouldn't handle everything. Not that we can't, but that we shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? I think that a lot of times, you know, that women are told what they shouldn't be doing
and what they can and can't do.
And what they can and can't do. But I think why I keep saying shouldn't is because they know we can, because we've done it.
Yeah. We've done it, and it exhausted the heck out of us.
Yes, we've been doing a lot of things that they told us we couldn't do.
And we did it.
But should we be doing it?
Is
the question. And then you come into your feminine, you know, your soft girl era.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And so it's like, okay, why don't you just be the soft girl? You go back and be, well, I have to be safe. I have to feel safe to be in that soft girl era. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you. And the system wasn't set up for us to be that.
It has not
and
been
so
set up
once you
for
recognize there is a system running against us, then you are able to identify, I think, a little bit more clearly what those things are doing to you, and then how you can map out to do the opposite.
And that's why we code switch, because when we're at work every day, we got to be in our masculine era. You know what I'm saying? We got to do the job. We got to do the work. We got to, get the job done. We got to do this, that, or the other. And then we come home and it's like, I want to decompress. I want to relax. I want to, I want to be feminine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, but you might not be able to do that.
You might not be able to
if you're the only one holding everything down.
Exactly. And when you think about the statistics where there's more women that are achieving post-secondary degrees, there are more women in the workforce. And
it's working against us. It
is working against us because you have a whole mass incarceration system that is locking up majority of men of color. So you have this system that is just creating these circumstances that are allowing women, that are positioning or putting women in a position to have to quadruple like everything that they do. They gotta take care of the kids, the house, they gotta be code switching. They gotta,
you know what? And then here's the other thing. There are more women on this planet than men. And when I keep thinking about him when he says too competitive.
Yeah.
We are pitted against each other.
Yeah, for the one man that's left.
For the
it's
one,
like
for the one good one that's left, honey.
For the one good man that's left. We are all fighting
for that job.
Or for that job.
For that position. You know what I'm saying? You got one black woman against three white men and one black man to get a job.
About the two white women.
And the two white women. You know, and the black woman has all the degrees and the experience and everything else, but Jerry was brought in, you know what I'm saying? You know, Susie might have slept her way, to where she was, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? The black man, they ain't gonna give it to him because they don't want a black man as a boss. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be.
Well, so it's like the system sets it up.
We're forced to be competitive. And so it just sucks. That's why you got more women starting their own businesses. Because it's like, if I start my own, I'm not competing against anybody. Okay, I feel like if men were in their proper place, we probably wouldn't be talking about this. I'm about to get in trouble.
Yeah, you're about to be. But I do feel like I know we can.
I appreciate your commentary. I appreciate your commentary.
It's real in that we have to take the system thing seriously.
And I agree.
It is not invisible. It's not made up. When you read the article, it lists so much research, so much data that points to the fact that you have to deal with not just the interpersonal. I can't say that enough. And the structural.
Right.
And if I think going back to Larry's question about, where can we begin? How can we start sort of reframing
Yes.
how we are with each other. And that is just recognizing those things
Yes.
and building from a place that is loving,
Yes.
not about how much money you got. Okay, what's your
Right.
credit score?
Right. Right.
Because that's what's making people feel safe. And that's what the system wants you to do.
Yes.
It's not about, because if we get too close and we in love and we powerful, or we could change some things.
Because here's the thing, we all have a place. You know,
we do.
men need to be in their proper place,
And so do
and
women.
women need to be in their proper place. But that proper place needs to be negotiated by
Between
the two
them
people
two.
in the
And
right,
not
the
the
two people
system.
in the relationship,
And
not the system, not the outside systems.
Yes, not the
So-
outside world telling
Right,
us
right.
what
Let-
it is.
Right. You two decide what's supposed to
Right.
work for you, what's going to
Mhm.
work for you. Because it might just be that the woman is better at paying bills. It might just
Yep.
be that the man is the better cook. I mean, I had a
Mhm.
husband, used to have a husband that, that could cook better than me. You know what I'm saying? So if he cooked better than me, then why would I, try to usurp that
Yeah,
that role?
role.
You know what I'm saying? If he can cook better, then let him cook.
let them cook.
Let him cook, and then I just bring home the money. I ain't
Yeah.
have a problem with that. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? So,
but that's what
but that's what worked for
all
us. You know what I'm saying?
are
So you
deciding
gotta,
on.
yeah. So you gotta find out what works for you all. Go back to what Teresa said. So
Yeah,
because I missed her comment. Put that back up.
Well, it was powerful. No, Larry, men and women should be in the roles God gave them in,
In
the,
the
beginning.
In the beginning, yes.
Yes.
In the beginning. I know you meant beginning.
Yes, but it's true. Like,
Yes.
it goes back to my point. If your foundation is not the foundation on the word of God,
Right.
then this is the chaos you're going to do.
Yes.
You
Yes.
got to have that word to be your guiding light, your
Yes.
foundation. If it is not, if you starting on the stuff that the
Shaky.
world tells you to be concerned
Shaky.
about,
Right.
honey, it is shaky as a piece of chicken ready to be fried in deep oil.
Cannot.
It's like,
You said fried in deep boil.
honey, it's gonna go like it's just gonna crunch you right on up.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's gonna, so anything that is outside noise that is not can be defined and proved in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Out,
Yeah, I think that you got to have that foundation. You got to have the right foundation.
yes, you do.
And you do have to be aligned. You got to
You gotta
sit
be
down
aligned.
and say, okay, let's make our list of goals. What
Mhm.
are our goals? What is our foundation? What
Mhm.
are our values? What are we going to value in this relationship? What is, not individually, but as
Yes,
a couple,
collective.
as a couple.
Yeah,
Because we're supposed to be becoming one.
one.
We have to, right.
One.
We got to become one. So we have to align and say, this is what our value system is going to be, and then build from there. And
And
like you
build
were
from there.
saying, not allow the outside pressures and the outside systemic racism and
Mhm.
all the other systems of the world to define how you relate to one another, how you're in relationship with one another, how you love
That's
on
the
one another,
system
how
at
you
work.
show up for one another.
Mhm.
All those things have to be discussed. That's why marriage is so, it should be so sacred. I know.
I felt this. I felt that
Listen.
word. I felt.
Listen.
I felt that word.
Sacred, yes.
I felt that word because in that word there's safety,
Mhm,
there's love.
mhm,
It's what you both hold
Mhm.
like so dear.
mhm,
Like nothing
mhm.
comes before that.
Right.
So when you do things out of order,
Mhm.
when you do things out of order in your marriage, this is what you're letting the outside stuff
Yes.
impede
Absolutely.
that. I want to read the poem that she wrote
Oh,
at
yes.
the end.
Yes.
And it's entitled Compound Interest. But before I read it, I just wanted to know if you had any final reflections from the essay, things you want our listeners to know.
No, you brought up the movies that she mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm good. I think
You
I'm good. I
good?
think we've had a really good discussion tonight.
I think we did.
I think we had some great input from our audience, and I really hope you guys have shared this video because we need to uplift each other. We need
We
to
do.
uplift. I guess I do have some comments.
Yes.
We need to uplift one another in terms of especially holding Black marriages and Black families together, praying for them, making sure that, you know, they're supported, that they know that, that they have help. You know, if you know a married couple needs to spend some time with each other, you know, go get the kids and just take the kids, you know what I'm saying? So they can go have some husband and wife time. Just go pick up the kids and take them for a couple of hours, or, you know, overnight, or whatever the case may be. If you know some couples, you know, they need some time to get themselves back on track or whatever, you know, do something nice. You know, just I'm serious. Like, just go pick up the kids so they can do what they need to do and have some, you know, alone time for them to reconnect. Because even the Bible says, you know, that even if you refrain, and it's talking about, like, if you're fasting, the Bible talks about if you're fasting, you know, you abstain, you might, as a married couple, you might abstain from sex for that period of time, but you need to come back together.
That's right.
Quickly,
immediately,
so that the devil won't creep in.
That's
Come
right.
on. That's what the Bible says. That's biblical. Okay.
That's biblical.
And it's the same thing in terms of support. You know, God understands, not just us, but God understands the value of relationship. That's why he wants relationship.
That's why it's under attack.
Yes.
That's why it's under attack.
Exactly.
That's why it's under attack.
So go ahead, girl. Read the poem.
Let me read the compound interest. It says, they say love grows like compound interest, but ours has always been interrupted. A system charging fees for every bit of joy we try to save. Still, my son watches me choose softness like it's a savings account for him, an inheritance that doesn't show up on paper, but lives in the way I excel and let myself rest. I want him to know love that isn't taxed, isn't audited, isn't seized the moment it blooms. And when I love a man, it's a political act, a decision to invest in someone even when history keeps our receipts. One day, when the world stops collecting on pain we never purchased, our hearts will finally earn the interest earn the interest they've been owed for generations. I don't know no other better way to end our podcast.
We are owed some interest.
We are interest compound.
Honey, 40 acres and a mule.
And a horse.
Child. Yes.
So,
well, we are so glad that you joined us today. Larry says, Shondo. So glad you joined us tonight. We really hope that this this conversation has pricked your interest.
Yeah.
That you
we only like touched the surface of so many.
Yeah. I put the link in the comments to this particular article, and you can go and read this essay for yourself. Share it with a couple. Like, you know, yes, like it, share it. And
Shaniqua merchant her flowers.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because girlfriend worked on that. Okay. She did research. She did a lot. Yes. She blew mine. So we thank you for watching tonight. Tam, we hope you're feeling better.
Yeah, thank you.
Randy, we can't wait till you come back and join us again. And we can't wait for you to come back and join us again on the third Tuesday of the next month. We love you all.
All right, y'all. Big time.
We love you. Where's my... Well, that's a wrap on another episode of My Sister, Your Sister. Now, don't keep this to yourself. Tell a sister or a brother, and join us next month on the third Tuesday
at 8 p.m. Eastern
on WVTC Detroit. Stay in touch with us via email at sistersllc@gmail.com and partner with us via Cash App at $MSYSCOMM. Peace out. Peace out. Peace out.
Moving on to Internet Station of the Year. The nominees are Black Gospel Radio, Robin McCollum. Shout out to Radio Robin. Next up, Hands Up Radio with Trayvon Perry. WTRC, Praise 98.3, Tiffany Coleman. WVTC Detroit, Sandy Rose. Congratulations to the nominees in the Internet Station category.
Charlene Miles was a legend, a woman of grace, love, and excellence, who believed everyone deserved to be treated like royalty. When her son couldn't find an assisted living home worthy of her, he built one. Charlene's Senior Legacy is a place where quality, kindness, and love come first. A home where seniors are celebrated, cared for with dignity, and surrounded by people who truly love what they do. For families who want only the very best for their loved ones, Charlene's Senior Legacy is that place. For more information, go to www.charleneseniorlegacy.com.
Are you looking for a church home where the whole family can grow, connect, and thrive? Come experience New Prospect Missionary Baptist Church, where ministry meets community. New Prospect offers more than 40 ministries designed for every generation, from scouting and quilting to music, social justice, mental health support, bereavement care, youth activities, and more. There's truly something for everyone. So whether you're young, seasoned, single, married, or raising a family, you'll find love, purpose, and connection under the leadership of Pastor M. Andrew Davis. So join us for Sunday worship at 7:30 a.m. or 10 a.m. and discover a church committed to both serving God and community. New Prospect Missionary Baptist Church, 6330 Pembroke Avenue, Detroit, Michigan, 48221. There's no experience like the New Prospect experience.
Hey y'all, what's up? This your girl Coco. I need y'all to check out WVTC Radio Detroit. Yes, WVTC. Say it with me. WVTC Radio Detroit.
Go to your Apple or Google Play Store and download the WVTC Gospel Radio app today. You can also say, Alexa, play WVTC Radio Skills.
Would you like to play WVTC Radio Network?
Absolutely. Download it today.
You're listening to WVTC Gospel Radio Detroit, and we're flowing in the Spirit.